We've heard the rumors for years, but this time it may be different.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, was one of the most disliked figures in entertainment. Since she took over as president in 2012, her creative decisions have run both the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises into the ground. Fans have left in droves as the movies cost more to produce and bring in less, with the new Indiana Jones film being one of the most expensive bombs in cinematic history. Miss after miss, the fans keep wondering when she'll get the axe, and now we finally may have an answer. But before we get into that, today's video is brought to you by us here at shopwcbs.com. You know, it's summertime, it's getting hotter, but you have to wear something out in public, so why not wear something with style and class? World class, that is. So go to shopwcbs.com and get yourself an official WCBS t-shirt. There are dozens of choices designed by me, and all of our shirts are shipped and printed through Teespring, so you get their customer service, support, as well as the high quality each of their t-shirt carries. So go to shopwcbs.com right now to grab one of those, and since it's summer and it's so damn hot out, you might want something cool to drink. So why not drink that cool beverage out of an official WCBS pint glass? When you do, you'll become the fifth bullshitter. You can crack a cold one with us and spend your summer watching all the new world-class bullshitters content coming your way, including the return of good morning pop culture. So folks, you can click on those links below, get yourself an official WCBS piece of glassware, wear the t-shirt, and hang out with us all summer long. And now, back to the video. For over a decade, Star Wars has been in the hands of Disney. What initially started out as an exciting endeavor quickly turned out to be one of the biggest disappointments in modern entertainment. At the helm of these decisions was Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm. Kennedy's legacy in Hollywood is the stuff of legend. Kennedy was an executive producer on some of the greatest films in history, such as Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and many, many, many more. However, her tenure as Lucasfilm president has not helped create anything of note. Outside of dismantling the EU and the blatant ripoff of the original trilogy with Star Wars The Force Awakens, Kathleen Kennedy's first big blunder came in the form of Solo: A Star Wars Story. That film was almost complete before Kennedy decided that direction was not what they wanted for the film, and it was reshot. That led to an incredibly expensive film that failed to make a profit. Solo was the first flop in Star Wars history. Fast forward to 2023, and Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford's other great character, has suffered his first financial failure, and the audiences are again wondering how long Kathleen Kennedy will be allowed to destroy these legacy characters. We may now have an answer. Rumor has it Disney has fired Kathleen Kennedy from her position as Lucasfilm boss and Star Wars custodian, but you should take this new report with a grain of salt. Kennedy is one of the most well-known producers in Hollywood, responsible for more than 50 sensational flicks in a career that spans more than 4 decades. She's also the person responsible for much of what the House of Mouse has churned out in the world of a galaxy far, far away since the franchise's acquisition in 2012. Under Kennedy's leadership, Lucasfilm developed a contentious and highly polarized sequel trilogy, and numerous other spin-offs in the form of Rogue One and Solo. She's also had some major successes along the way, like Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian, which kickstarted a little cinematic universe of its own over on Disney+. Where's The Mandalorian at these days? Not the success it used to be. Most fans would be too quick to blame Kennedy for the brand's shortcomings over the past couple of years, and there might have been some merit to that argument given the facts that she is indeed the person spearheading all of the Star Wars ventures at Lucasfilm. Now, amidst a period of tumultuous transition and uncertain plans with numerous new Star Wars films going through development and a fog of ambiguity and media blackouts, it's been rumored that Kathleen Kennedy is getting the boot. But where does this rumor come from, and how seriously should you take it? Neither the House of Mouse, nor Kathleen Kennedy herself for that matter, has yet to react to this rumor, but both have the disastrous launch of Indiana Jones 5 to thank for it. After the movie failed to garner attention from critics and bombed at the box office, its scuttlebutt shifted its focus to Kennedy, with many seemingly suggesting that she and the company are parting ways. Many outlets soon picked up on this conversation, and Lucasfilm boss began trending on Twitter. Now even prominent YouTube channels like Star Wars Theory are chiming in, with this one in particular claiming that a Lucasfilm insider has confirmed Kennedy is indeed no longer heading the studio. The person who wrote this article should have paid closer attention to that video. Frankly, Star Wars Theory has never given his audience any reason to doubt the validity of this report and video essays, but for the time being, you should definitely take this with a sprinkle of salt and a pinch of skepticism. Until either Disney or an official Lucasfilm representative comments on the rumors, we have no way of knowing whether Kathleen Kennedy is really leaving the directorial chair. She's not the director, but anyway, I digress. We do know, however, that the exec's extended contract, originally expired in 2021, is ending soon, so even without the rumors, and considering the failure of both Star Wars and Indiana Jones, Kennedy's career prospects could be running on fumes. I can't vouch for everything Star Wars Theory has ever said, but I don't recall him making dozens of videos about Kathleen Kennedy leaving Lucasfilm. Though he does make fun of the guy who does.
Kathleen was trying to log into her Gmail here to check her daily mail of Last Jedi highlights when she was locked out! I was able to get this screenshot from my turtles, I call them, my spies. See right here, it says, "Ha ha, you're fired."
All that aside, there's a real reason people scoff at the rumor. It's been beaten to death at this point. Is this just another false claim? Well, he is joking here because the amount of times the rumor comes out is surprising. It's more likely that Elvis is alive than Kathleen Kennedy is getting fired this week. We here at this channel haven't trusted these rumors, but I personally understand the fans' grievances, and that's no laughing matter. Indiana Jones was incredibly pricey to make, and it doesn't look like it's going to make any profit at all anytime soon. Currently, the film is sitting at $255 million globally, making it the least successful before adjusting for inflation. That's incredibly important. Over the 4th of July, Indiana Jones 5 was beaten by The Sound of Freedom, a movie that has captured the attention of a lot of people. That film was made for $14.5 million, and it actually outdid Indy on the 4th of July. The film was already profitable. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny has grossed just $255 against the reported $295 million budget, which we've seen other reports that it's $300 plus. Yet the film would have to make at least twice the budget to break even. Indiana Jones' disappointing box office signals a trend of other Lucasfilm properties and their reception over the past few years. Like we said earlier, 2018 Solo: A Star Wars Story bombed. The Rise of Skywalker's $1 billion box office was disappointing due to lower box office draw and reception compared to its predecessors. In 2023, Lucasfilm's Willow series was also canceled after one season. The blockbuster franchise of the 80s are simply no longer the exciting, innovative movies of today. Each franchise is plagued by individual troubles, yet they share problems that put Lucasfilm and fans at a loss. First, the cost of making the films is too expensive. Raiders of the Lost Ark cost $66 million adjusted for inflation. We have a whole video on that you should check out. Star Wars and Indiana Jones have had multiple writers, directors, and producers each vying for their own version of the franchise compared to George Lucas and his singular team's vision of the 1980s. Finally, the new film caters to the nostalgia of older fans when they offer very little new story and vision, leaving viewers underwhelmed. After 7 years in production, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was marketed as Harrison Ford's final ride as a titular character. That means its box office failure may not be damaging to its future, since Indiana Jones 6 happening was unlikely, but Lucasfilm would surely have hopes for more of the series in some way, whether a brand new spin-off or the mooted Indiana Jones TV show. Instead, it's very difficult to see where the franchise goes from here. Similarly, Willow will not see a new entry, soon if ever. With the TV show being removed from Disney Plus as part of Disney's cost-cutting measures, Star Wars movies are more hopeful and will happen again in some way, but have a long record of being announced, then scrapped. One such film on the docket is the new Star Wars movie by James Mangold, director of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and it'll be interesting to see whether the latter has any impact at all on the former. Ultimately, the overall message from the audience is that without a clear vision or purpose, Lucasfilm should leave these movies alone. Simply because a new release such as Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny has the same stars does not mean the movie has the same magic. It's not enough to rely on IP alone either. When you put this all in perspective, you can understand why fans want Kathleen Kennedy gone. But all of these misses have built-in excuses, and they seem to keep her job secure. What I want to know is, what's next? There were 3 viable properties at Lucasfilm, and they're all ruined in some degree. Is that what Disney wanted? They can't have wanted 8 years of content, then nothing. That was $4 billion wasted. The emotional connection fans feel towards these Lucasfilm properties is the main reason they'll always be ready to see Kathleen Kennedy go, because she's the face of this era of Lucasfilm that deconstructs all these great heroes and replaces them with small brunette white women with British accents. Star Wars is full of Karens, and the president of Lucasfilm is the Queen Karen herself. So folks, what do you think about this? Do you think this is finally a credible rumor? Have there finally been enough failures for Kathleen Kennedy to get the boot? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. 3 questions for today. What is the worst Lucasfilm released since Disney took over? 2, were you a Willow fan? And 3, which Indiana Jones film has the best action scenes? Let's have one of these fun questions, shall we? We always have 3 that are related to the video, but today, let's do something a little different. Personally, I'm flabbergasted by how bad Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny has done. You should check out all of our videos on the subject to hear what we've had to say, but I'll put this here for now. Indiana Jones was an institution. And I stress was, The one thing that enough people aren't talking about is the fact that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, they ruined Indiana Jones with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That movie was the franchise breaker, not the Dial of Destiny. Not to say that the Dial of Destiny is a good film at all, but to act like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was better in hindsight, well, that's just kind of silly. That movie has so many problems, and I don't even have to mention the nuking of the fridge to bring up those problems. Somehow Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is slightly better, but that again is not a good thing. If the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a 3 out of 10, then the Dial of Destiny is a 4 out of 10. It's such an incremental step that it's not even worth noting the quality change. I consider the original trilogy, those 3 Indiana Jones films, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade, are solid 10s across the board. Temple of Doom has always been a loved film, but the internet era has made people reevaluate it because they're bored, they're worried about it being offensive, when in reality it's a roller coaster ride of fun that has a literal roller coaster in it. And it saddens me to see that companies like Hasbro refuse to produce action figures based on Molaram or any offensive tropes when they're the characters from the film we all want. People don't buy those toys out of hatred or bigotry, they buy it because Molaram's a great villain. They love the giant Thuggy and the Thuggy guards. They're cool looking characters. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom has so much going for it. And you get these damn shill media people that want to dump on the Temple of Doom. Well, it's offensive, we can't like Temple of Doom. Who's we? You don't speak for me, you don't speak for Indiana Jones fans. You're not an Indiana Jones fan. You didn't have to be alive when the movies came out. Hell, I was only alive for the third one, but it doesn't matter. If you like it, and you don't want to change it. If you're trying to change it, you were never a fan in the first place. And that's what Kathleen Kennedy was. I understand that she was involved with every Indiana Jones film. She's the special assistant to Mr. Spielberg on the first film. I wonder how special she was. But all joking aside, she was there at the beginning. She understood what Indiana Jones meant, what it needs to be. And again, she made the decisions for it to be something else. An overly expensive mess that's depressing to watch? Yes, we all want to watch our grandpa cry over his dead son. No, we want to watch Indiana Jones go on one more adventure and enjoy it. This whole movie was Indiana Jones being sour grapes, trying to one-up everybody with his knowledge. He knows better, he knows this, he knows that. When did Indiana Jones become actually Jones? Because it's all he is, well, actually this, well, actually that. Harrison, love you to death. You should have stepped up. You should have said no to this crap. So folks, thank you for watching. I'll be back next time with more. Make sure you check out all of our new content here on the channel, and we just passed 190,000 subscribers. So thank you to our 190,000th subscriber. Thank you to our first subscriber. Thank you to every one of our subscribers. If you really like what we do, go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to support the channel and get access to our back catalog of content. The guys and I are getting ready to meet up this week, and we're going to have some more stuff coming to you soon after that. As well as next month at Horror Hound, the guys and I are going to be making some video content that's only available there, as well as the membership program. So folks, thank you for watching. Like I said, I'll be back next time with more. But always, be smart, be safe, be cool, and of course, be excellent to each other.
Thanks for watching today's video. Yes, it's over, but don't cry because there's more, a lot more from World Class Bullshitters. And there's only one way to get it. Hit that subscribe button below. When you do that, you'll get notifications and updates from World Class Bullshitters every time we go live. Basically, you won't miss anything. And if there's one thing I hate, it's FOMO. But the thing most people hate more than FOMO is fear of missing out on World Class Bullshitters, because there's just some things you can't undo. So folks, do yourselves a favor and never miss anything from World Class Bullshitters. One last thing before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Not for our egos, no, they're big enough as this, but it does help us fight the algorithm here, and well, it's man versus machine, and that's the real fight. But if that's not your battle, that's okay. There's one last way you can help WCBS, and that's going over to shopwcbs.com, picking up a t-shirt, a beer glass, a sweatshirt, a poster, all sorts of ways to back WCBS. The difference between us and other YouTube channels is I'm the artist that makes all this stuff, so if you enjoy art beyond t-shirts, you can even read our comic books. We got it all. We're called the epitome of pop culture for a reason, and no, again, it's not for our egos. So folks, make sure you're involved with every aspect of World Class Bullshitters, not just for us, but do it for yourself. We're making the change in entertainment everybody out there wants to see. And a special thank you goes out to all of our wonderful patrons who make this content possible. Go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to get involved and help out the channel.